Alright, so I've been working very hard with my fellow New Rho brothers and sisters, and just like myself, I'm in the new fraternity. We have new members coming in, just like I did at the last one. So we're going to introduce you to them. And so first, we're going to have my sister come in and have a little treat for you guys.
How's everybody? Good? Yes, we're still okay? I'm going to read you guys The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down, went as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same.
And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I marked the first for another day, and I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, some were ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
I was exposed, like the body of a naked tree in the winter, with heart-shaped branches that cracked with each shiver, and a face of bark eroding from the tears that hung like mucus. My mind was a ladder that swayed violently as I climbed up to scrape the sky in hopes of finding my grandfather's footprints on the clouds left behind from his journey up to the promised land. I searched for the scent in the clouds. How could this process turn this stone-cold boulder into a sun-rays glaze cuffing the side of the moon? How could these letters transform my tears into rivers flowing over paper? How could these people turn this mannequin dense with depression into a man kindling with confidence?
I find it scary. I have issues this stage can't save. And when they kill me, my obituary won't even make it on the page, and at the cemetery, I won't even get a 6-foot grave, so while you're mourning, I'll be so shallow I can give you a little wave, or maybe the middle finger, because in hell, who gives a fuck how I behave? Now I don't have to work and shine for minimum fucking wage. Maybe I can take that final step and completely disengage, because my body feels less like a temple and more like a cage. But now, I'm singing, and my music is so magical, it'll build cities. Dead ends will come alive, and buildings will bend under gravity. Tipping spearheads to sword fight for fun, their doors opening and closing as they recite verses from memory. I'll make New York City a mountain so high and wide it'll spill over its sides into the east, and Hudson and Harlem and red-hot summer-stained sidewalks will drink in as they dip down like cookies into milk, because we fit together as deliciously and classically as cookies and milk.
I heard that I was much different than I imagined myself being. All huff and puff and blowing houses down so far off the mark. A head filled with helium but hard as boulders. Paradox. You are unknown. You are too loquacious, but your love for your words, paradox. Good folks. You're looking at one arrogant bastard who's all tatted, villain, but the monkeys on my arm tell me that I can do no evil, that I feel there is no one my equal. These are things I've heard. Humble thyself, palabras seasoned with salt. Christian, just learn to say okay. Shut the hell up, because you realize you won't be seen from the angle which you see is right. So I learned to twiddle my fingers and thumbs in search of the correct language and the correct definitions. Now I'm listening, correct definitions. So I twiddled my fingers and I twiddled my thumbs in search of the correct mathematics, listening to my mouth and staying shut, trying to scratch my neck like addicts, realizing that my words would only create static patience. Patience for a process I felt would go on for days and days and days, and I'm still standing, I'm still strong, I'm still here like Antoine Fisher, never resorted to calling anyone Miss or Mister, just to spell the bullshit, trying to see the bigger picture, these 4 pillars, one lost but not forgotten. These kids with their stupid sonnets and swell villanelles they know so well, often derailed but never halted. When class ended for the doors, we bolted, and it's all good. There are still things I'm working through in this obstacle course of a life where we dodge valuable life lessons like landmines. Learn to shrink yourself because this fam is all mine. Turn myself down a couple volumes. Brothers and sisters taught me to stay cool as a volume, getting closer to the mark and less helium head.
I was disconnected. I was disconnected from the people surrounding, disjointed from the limbs of friends holding my hand, trying to keep me from falling off this cliff called self-destruction. I was leaking water from deep brown wells because I never met the plumber who was to fix the broken pipes in the back of my mind, or the contractors who was to remodel this outdated thinking. I was living in a house full of cracks and creaks because it was haunted by mental illness. And every night I felt the cold drafts of depression and the oppressive presence of attention deficit. But now I have these 4 pillars supporting me, keeping this roof from caving over my body, because they patch the holes and fix the leaky water, cradling me in homely comfort so that now I can live in love, peace, and a sound mind.
And ultimately from these broken facades,
Obscenities,
helium heads,
And broken houses,
we've paved a new road, one road, our road.